Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela, and we are married
And bored. Hey guys, welcome back to the Married and Bored podcast.
We are here again for another wonderful episode.
Yeah, we're so happy that you took time to listen to the episode today.
And that sounded, that sounded very smooth and professional.
Well, every episode I try to take one step forward, but I usually take two steps back.
No, I don't think so.
No?
You're too hard on yourself. Come on.
Well, again, welcome to the show. I'm Christian. That's
Angela. They can't see you pointing at me.
No, they can't. But we are here. We're married. We talk about board games on this show, so welcome.
Yes. That was a very aggressive point you just did at me.
There was no finger wag. There was no it was just like a stiff arm.
Yeah, it was.
And that's
that girl over there.
Yep.
That woman.
That's what I call her.
He calls me woman. All right, guys. We are happy to be here, but before we talk about a glorific game.
Wow.
Was that cheesy?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk about what's up in the board gaming world with us.
Yeah, not really the board gaming. Well, kind of. Just what interests us.
Yeah.
In the past couple weeks.
What board gaming news do we have in our lives?
We don't have very much.
No?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Ha.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about, ready? I'm going to point at you.
Okay.
That man's
over there.
Birthday.
And this is where we'd like to introduce the third member of our podcast.
Yes.
Silent Greg.
Silent Greg.
Greg, how's it going?
How's it going, Greg? Yeah, it's Christian's birthday. Well, it was yesterday at the time that we're recording this. He is one day into his 39th year of life.
It's so good.
Can you share with us any wisdom from your 39 years?
No.
No, none?
Don't eat lots of candy. Your teeth will start falling out. Or
do you know this from personal experience?
Well, none of them have really fallen out. They just develop holes.
What are those holes called?
I believe it's cavities.
Okay, good job.
The holes just sounds grosser.
That does sound
I have
grosser.
a hole in my tooth.
It does. Okay, well, that's a really good piece of wisdom. Thank you, Christian.
Yep.
I was really hoping that this episode would correspond in number to your birthday, but we're one off.
So we should wait a whole year to do this episode?
No, because then the episodes will keep increasing unless we didn't do... Oh, you mean like if we didn't record for a whole year?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just like talking about board games too much.
That's true.
So it's episode 40, but Christian is not 40 yet.
Not yet.
Maybe he'll have more wisdom for us.
They say 40
40th.
is the new 40.
If you've... I don't even know what to say to that. I was going to say, if you have any 40th birthday things that you've done or places you've been that were epic.
Yeah, I'm looking for a way to really celebrate it.
Yes.
I'm not an adventurous person. I play board games for fun, so that kind of tells you that I'm not going to bungee jump.
Would you enjoy a hot air balloon ride?
Heck no.
Okay.
No. But I like my adventure would be like RVing across country or
Yes.
eating a 6-foot sub.
A 6-foot sub.
Your face.
Do you want to tell everyone that we were at Subway the other day?
Yeah.
And I mean, in my defense, I hadn't been there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
6 months, maybe?
You went to Subway and you started calling them medium and small sandwiches.
And the poor employee was looking at me like, I don't know, this lady sounds like she knows what she's talking about. But
I was like, Angela, go by numbers here.
And so Christian's
long.
like, you mean like a 6-inch or a foot long? And I was like, oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
So there you go.
But I had a really fun time celebrating my birthday with you and the kids and the family.
Yes.
We had talked about just a couple hours ago that this is the
This was the first.
first birthday that I've had in a few years. that I didn't receive a board game.
Well, that's technically your mother and father gave you a board game from your childhood.
Well, that's just, yeah, but I would say I wouldn't count that.
Because it's for ages 4 through 8?
Yeah, it's just a memory.
Okay.
That's a memory gift. And then this afternoon, I received an Amazon package with my name on it, which happens occasionally.
Occasionally.
Yep. And I was like, Angela, I swear I didn't order anything. It's my birthday. Why would I do that? Because I have been known to do that as well.
Yes.
And there was a game inside, and it said, "Happy birthday from Anonymous."
Oh, it's so mysterious.
I don't think it's the big hacker group Anonymous.
Oh.
I don't think it's that.
Were you thinking it might be?
No. I'm just letting people know they're in current events right now.
Okay.
So they're not sending me board games while attacking international war criminals.
Okay. That's off the table.
No.
Okay. So it's someone in our lives that has our home address that's sending you...
And if it's someone not in our lives who has our home address, this will be our last show.
Well, they did send us a fantastic... Well, not us. You.
It was cool. It was the Undaunted reinforcement box. Woo. Which is really cool because it allows you to play the first 2 games solo and with up to 4 people. So it would be fun.
Yeah.
Fun to look at. It was one that I had my eye on for a while and wanted to get it to complete the set kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You and I have played the first one less than 5 times.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And I've never played the second one, the Africa.
Yes.
So I'm way behind, but I just wanted this one to complete the set, basically.
Yeah. Well, and you like the game.
Yeah, and plus I'm a history nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. So any game based on history is fun for me.
So that was going to be my board gaming what's up about your birthday, that you received a game. Mm-hmm. But now that you've taken it,
well, why don't you tell me what what my what's up is?
No, I don't mind. That was good. I think did you ever mention on our first episode the game you got from your parents for your birthday?
On our first episode?
I thought you mentioned Pizza Party on the first episode.
I feel like we've talked about it before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the game he got from his parents. It was an eBay purchase, and it is...
It's fun. It's just a classic 1980s, 1990s game.
Yes.
Yeah, where the instructions are on like the cardboard insert.
Yes.
There's no books. Everything's cartoony and fun. I don't know if it's Milton Bradley or whatever.
It's Parker
Bros.
Parker Brothers. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, Christian, what's up with you?
Yeah. Well, I had a birthday.
Are you 40?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Thank goodness. And yeah, so besides that, we basically celebrated for days over here.
Days and days.
Days. We had mentioned last episode that I get to go to Gen Con, and I kind of put out some feelers and some requests from you guys, you listeners, to send any tips and tricks.
Yes, which he will still gladly accept.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I got one from my friend.
Look up the name.
I'm going to look up his name.
I
thought I had it right here.
We are so absolutely thrilled when people respond to us from listening to a podcast episode or on Instagram. So thank you. What's his name?
Oh, his name's Ted.
Thank you, Ted.
Yeah.
For emailing this suggestion.
Yeah, so Ted emailed us and just said, hey, you said you're going to Gen Con. I haven't gone in a couple years, but here's my biggest takeaway. Bring toilet paper.
That's amazing.
And he explained why. This was pre-pandemic. And he said by the 3rd day of the year that he went, all the restrooms were out.
That's bananas.
Well, you maybe could use some bananas in that situation.
Isn't it at a convention center?
Yeah, I think so.
So I've never been to Gen Con, but I've been to other professional conferences at convention centers.
Yeah.
And I I don't know if we just wipe our bottoms less or what, but there has never been a toilet paper shortage.
I don't know. Maybe it's all the snacks from board games.
Might be. Anyway, I thought, Ted, that was phenomenal advice.
And I'm definitely doing it.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
You are bringing a roll of toilet paper in your backpack.
Mm-hmm. Here's a Gen Con question that came up this week. Is if I'm going there to buy games, and I do end up buying games, I obviously have to carry them around.
Right.
Are you allowed to bring like a big bag, like an IKEA bag, and just load it up with games? What do you guys suggest? Because I do not want to lug around games all day.
Maybe you can hire a pack mule.
A pack mule? I think there's a game for that.
Okay.
Probably a game called Pack Mule that's coming out.
To just saddle up a mule to come around with you.
Yeah. So
all day.
I'm curious. I'm sure I could look it up and see what's available, or what the rules are. But I'm just curious what you guys have had success with.
Yes.
Obviously, you can probably bring your backpack, but my backpack can probably hold one game.
If that.
And if I come out of Gen Con with one game, I'd say that's probably very conservative of me.
I don't think that'll happen.
But I don't think that's going to happen. How could it not? I go to the local store and get 2 every time.
Or 5,
I don't know if we've ever done that many.
Not at once.
No. But yeah. So yeah, Gen Con, keep the suggestions coming.
Yeah.
My friend who I'm going with texts me every other day and he's like 186 days, 100, whatever, however many it is.
Yes.
So I think we're at like 155.
Woo.
So like half a year to go.
Well, listen, I don't know if anyone out there can beat the toilet paper tip, and I'm being serious because that's a lifesaver. Can you imagine just realizing?
There's none in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one can spare a square.
I can't admit. Like, I'll trade 2 sheep for a toilet paper.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Classic joke.
Classic board game joke. Any other news? Any other what's up?
Well, yeah, we have a fun weekend coming up. We're doing a board game weekend up north.
Oh, yes.
With some friends.
How could we not mention that?
Yeah, I figured I would mention it and just say the funny dilemma that we run into is like, what do we bring?
Well, we're bringing like everything. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think it's good because we don't want to have too few games.
Right.
But also we need to bring clothes and food in the car.
Yes. You mean we can't just live off board games alone?
No, because the reality is we can't play everything we bring. And so it's like, well, do we bring this many extra? Yes. I don't know.
I mean, I could just wear one pair of clothes the whole weekend.
That would be stereotypical board gamer. Not anymore. At one point.
That's right. We're changing the script.
At one point.
One person at a time.
That's right.
One hygienic person at a time.
That's right. Shower, folks.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think that we'll just be we'll get to the part where we load the car.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, listen, we're under pressure. We've got to just start either eliminating some.
Or adding.
Or, yeah, maybe adding. I don't know. So I think it'll work out.
I think it will too. I'm excited. Is there a game that you're most looking forward to playing?
Yes, but I don't think it'll get played.
Oh, Obsession.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. If everyone wants to play Obsession, I would love to play Obsession.
Okay. Are you bringing a gown to change into when it's time to play Obsession?
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Are you bringing devil horns to dress into when you play Sanctum?
Sanctum. That was a deep cut.
Come on. Are you bringing your Explorer costume for Arna?
Yeah, there you go. I'm bringing my Indiana Jones cosplay.
There you go.
Yeah. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Did you hear that beautiful tenor voice?
Mm-hmm.
That was not edited in after the fact.
that was done live?
That was live.
Man.
Oh, I feel silly. We're in a silly mood.
Yep.
Okay.
It's also silly that you've been holding the game we're going to talk about the whole intro. So you have the glow box in your lap. It's kind of cradling it, which is...
Yeah. It's so that you can look at it and remember that this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about Glow. It's a great game. We're going to talk about it right after this.
This episode is sponsored by Showit. Are you stuck in a boring website template? Maybe you don't even know where to start. Experience the true creative freedom with the drag and drop simplicity of a Showit website. Our website, marriedandbored.com, is a Showit website, and we love how simple it is to create. Get started for free at showit.co. You won't be disappointed.
All right, guys. Like I just said, we're talking about Glow today.
Yes, we are.
This game is kind of hot right now.
It's really hot. It's glowing hot.
Whoa. Can't believe I didn't see that.
No, you didn't.
Angie, why don't you just describe what Glow is, and let's run with it.
Okay. All right, guys. Glow is a competitive dice rolling card drafting game for 2 to 4 players. Players are going to take on the role of an adventurer who's trying to gather traveling companions and activate their powers via dice in an attempt to dispel the darkness and bring light to the land.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love dice games.
Yeah.
There's something so satisfying about just rolling tons of dice.
Yes.
There's not tons of dice in this one, but there's a lot.
It's not just one.
No.
Yeah, it's not Monopoly.
It's
just
like
1 or 2.
I mean, Yahtzee is great because you can roll a bunch of dice at the same time.
Are we talking about Yahtzee?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's another dice game.
Yahtzee is not.
It's the most popular dice game
Okay.
in the United States.
That might be true.
And then number 2 is craps.
Cribbage?
Craps.
Oh, you mean the gambling game? Okay.
And then Glow.
Oh.
Coming in strong at number 3. 2021's Glow.
You know, you shouldn't believe everything you hear on the Married and Bored podcast.
Oh man, yeah. So we've had a lot of fun with Glow. So let's dig into it and just kind of tell everybody about our experiences.
We got lots to say. I think that this game starts out very nice and easy because it is easy to set up. It's easy to tear down. I love that it's there's not a lot of components. Like Christian mentioned, there's dice.
No.
And there's a card deck that you shuffle and create a certain way. And then there's a game board and you kind of just get going.
Yeah, and it's all small.
Yes.
In that it doesn't take up a lot of space. Everything's pretty compact in the play area. It's not a sprawling game where you have decks and decks of cards outside the board. I'm thinking of Unfathomable.
Yes.
That has decks outside, discards, monster piles. This one is just you got your dice that you currently use, put them here.
And the dice in the supply.
And the dice in the supply, which have its own little board. Mm-hmm. So everything is just kind of compact and right in front of you and easy to get going.
Yes. I love that.
And on the flip side, easy to pack up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No need for crazy organizers on this game.
I mean, people will make them because that's why not?
But like Christian said, it's a smaller box.
Yeah.
And it's
about the same size as like Arkham Horror LCG boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a small LCG box. It's cute.
Wonderful.
Cute.
It is cute. We first saw, or I shouldn't say we because I don't know how you heard about it, but I first saw this game when we were wandering around the new local game store that we mentioned in our last episode. And Christian was like, oh, that's like a new hotness.
Yeah, I think I've seen it on a couple YouTube videos. Okay. I want to say maybe like one of the Watch It Played like Momentum videos where they say what are the hottest ones right now.
Yeah. Or
what's coming soon. And I think this has been mentioned multiple times on there. And then a few reviewers have probably posted Instagram posts on it. Yeah. And it's just striking, like, the pictures.
Yeah.
Which will describe... I mean, if you've seen it, you know, everything's black and white.
Yes.
Except the dice. Yes. Which is really cool.
It's very cool. And the size of the box didn't seem so threatening to me. You know how that is when you're like, oh, that's a humongous box. And so that's probably very threatening.
Yeah.
Yes. Not that I can't make room in my schedule for a heavy game, but...
No. This is a good one because I think as of late, we've been really into these shorter experiences.
Yeah, not super short, but like 45 minutes or less.
Yeah. And including setup and teardown.
Yeah.
So for us, that's great. We love the long battles of a rising sun or an Ankh or something like that. But that we can't do that every night.
No, that's for a board game weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
This
weekend.
That's right.
But we are bringing this one up there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, like,
because you might need like a little break from.
You just gotta chuck some dice, roll them bones.
Yes.
You ever heard that?
No, but that's another game. Too many bones.
Too many bones
with all the dice.
That's bones are like dice. It's like another word for dice.
Yeah.
Roll them bones.
Were you going somewhere on that tangent?
Yeah. So we're bringing it, and I was just gonna say like we have to teach it.
Yes.
So like, how easy is it to teach? How easy is it to learn?
I think it's easy. Maybe, can I say this? Easy plus.
Well, I have Apple Care Plus on our devices.
Okay. Okay. And to me, that doesn't mean like super easy. That means just like maybe one step along the sliding scale from easy to hard.
What's on the lowest end of that? Like Uno?
Well, it depends on who you're teaching it to.
True.
I think the people that we're teaching it to, it's going to be easy. But if you wanted to teach this game to a non-board gamer, I would say you might have to, they might not be used to keeping all the different triggers and combinations in mind that the dice can do. So you just have to be aware of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that makes it not accessible.
No. One good thing that this game does is you do combos based on what you roll.
Yeah.
Or you activate combos based on what you roll. And each card has a great representation, and it says right there what combos you have. So if you're ever like confused, you literally just need to look down.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I need to roll 3 raindrops in order to activate this card.
Yep.
And that's what you try to do, or not try to do.
Right. And then like the mechanic obviously is, I think, is super simple. You roll your dice and you match the symbols, or in some cases you try not to match the symbols on the cards, and there you go.
Yeah, the drafting element in this game is easy to learn too.
Yeah.
We have only played this game 2 players.
Correct.
We've tried to get our kids interested, but they're just not, and that's fine.
That's fine.
And so the rules are slightly different in the drafting portion of the game. But basically, you have a market of creatures and allies that you want to bring to your team. Some of them give you extra dice. Some of them give you those extra combos. And you just try to make a team to try to get the most points and bring light back into the land. That's the little story that it's telling.
Yes. And I think that, I mean, not that this is hard to keep track of, but even in other card drafting games where it's like you're spending resources to draft that card, you can draft any card as long as it's available.
Yeah, you just pick an order.
Yeah, you just pick. You just have to, like, some of them have different benefits. So that's the only thing.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to, like, count up how much money I have to buy this card, or is it the right class or whatever for my character. You don't even need to do that. You just need to look at its benefits.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest things to learn about this game is remembering all those combos and what dice what dice have been used or pair with what. But then you also can use those same dice results to move on the little map, whether it's the forest map or the water map, which is another thing that this game brings, is 2 options for that. But just remembering, like, oh, I need to worry about this as well as my combos.
So that might be something that someone who hasn't been exposed to modern board games, like if they think board game means like we play categories, then they might not be used to trying to keep track of multiple things throughout the round or combos that could mean different things in different phases.
Man, I used to play so much categories.
Hey, I'm not knocking categories.
I was really good at it.
Some people, I mean, I would still play categories.
Yeah, it actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. But that's because we play a lot of heavy games.
That's true. It's like a little break from the mind.
Yes. So all I'm saying is someone that's not used to modern board games would maybe take a while to get acclimated to.
Yeah, and when we say a while, we mean like 1.5 rounds.
Yeah.
For this game.
Yeah.
Not difficult.
No. What about, so you touched a little bit on it, like this theme of what the board game is doing, like bringing light to this black and white world. So, like, how immersive do you think the experience is when we play it?
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why this game has become so popular is because it is it's so different looking. And what I mean is that everything is black and white.
Yeah.
The outside of the box, I'm looking at it because you still have it in your lap.
Oh, I'm still going to hold it.
Has no color on it.
Right.
Except for maybe, if you move your hands, does it have the publisher?
The publisher.
And then on the back, it has the dice, which are the only source of color in the game.
But the main artwork on the cover.
It's just black and white. It's this cartoony, foresty.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
I wouldn't call it like cute cartoony.
No, some of the creatures that you can draft to your team are pretty gross.
Yeah. But then I feel like it's I don't know, like whimsical, is that the right? Like it just seems very airy, and the artwork is neat. All the cards of the characters in the game are black and white.
Yeah.
The artwork on the board is black and white. So it's...
And the dice are so bright compared to that, which is really cool.
Yes.
And that's where your power comes from, rolling those combos. And they're just bright, see-through dice.
Yes.
Which makes it really cool.
So maybe like we should tell people that listen, when we talk about immersive games, like sometimes it's about a narrative, like Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth.
Yeah, totally.
This is not a narrative game, but it does a really good job at building out the world that it's living in, just from this idea of there not being color, and the world has been robbed of that. And then you're gathering companions to help you bring color back and light.
Yeah, definitely. I always struggle with that because when you hear the word immersive, like, I think we both gravitate towards like, well, there's no story. Like you're not literally going through a story like Robin Hood or like you said, Lord of the Rings, but the story the game itself is trying to tell is done very well.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
While there's no chapters and dialogue, we're playing the game and it fits the theme like very well.
Yes.
I think that's another word to use more maybe in this category for us.
Fits the theme.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a narrative game, this is not it. But it does a really good job of fitting the theme. Everything fits this theme of bringing light back into the world.
Color. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Well, do you think that you had fun playing this game?
I want to ask you this first.
Oh, okay.
Because, see what I did? I just flip-flopped it right there.
Well, I'll allow it.
We've played this a handful of times. In the first few times we played it, if the roles were reversed, I wouldn't feel the same way that I think you feel.
Yeah, I know that.
I crushed you.
Oh, but not just once.
No, that's what I'm saying. The first few times.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't to the point where I was getting worried.
Oh, yeah.
That you would like a Star Wars Destiny. That's a game in our past, which I think we both kind of like. Well, I like it more than you.
Yes.
But I would consistently win, and it would frustrate you to the point where it's not a game you would never want to play again.
Right.
So that's where I thought this was going.
I could go through like the differences in my head of Star Wars Destiny versus
No, but I'm just saying
Glow.
a win-loss thing.
I think it's different when I'm being when you are doing direct combat to make me die. But anyway, I totally lost like big time to the point where I was on one of them. I was just hoping to get half your score.
Hoping.
I was like, if I can get half of his score, that's going to be really awesome.
You did. Congrats.
And I did. Barely. But then we did play once where I won.
Yeah, though you won the last time we played.
But see, this is where I think there's a difference between you and I. A big one, I mean. Like, it's glaringly obvious that I usually, maybe not with Star Wars Destiny, but will keep coming back to a game that I haven't done well at. So I want to
unlock the puzzle.
I want to unlock the
solve
puzzle.
the puzzle.
Yeah. I want to unlock the challenge.
I have very few games like that.
Yeah.
But so I don't understand it to the level that you have. Usually if a game is just so overwhelmingly hard,
right,
for me, there's no point.
What about like how you felt about Mariposas?
Mariposas was interesting because it didn't confuse me, but after the first time we played it, I was so ready to play another one because I realized a lot of things that I could have done or things I wanted to try.
Okay.
For a game like Abomination, one of your favorites, or honestly any worker placement game, I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
but it doesn't even intrigue you to like try to find out.
No.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't say I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know how to play.
Right.
I don't know how to plan in those games. So I just look at what's available to me and it's like, well, I guess I'll do this. And then I look at you and look at your turns and you're like, for some reason I see it with you. You're like, I'm like, oh yeah, she's setting up like 3 turns ahead.
Really? Because
Yeah.
sometimes, I mean, it's rare that I feel confident that I have set up 3 turns ahead.
Or I know that you're purposely taking something from me or stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, those are my types of games. So yeah, if the roles were reversed, you would probably not say that you had fun.
No.
But
So my question is, did you have fun?
yes.
Yeah, I figured.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about it.
Yeah. We have talked about games we don't love so much, but this one, for me, this is a lot of fun.
You asked to play this one more than any of the other new ones we've bought in the past few weeks.
Yes. The only thing that I would maybe mention here that might, if you're this type of person, suck the fun out of it a little bit, is the dice involve luck.
True.
You know, like all dice rolls do. So I wouldn't say it's heavily luck based. There's still strategy with the cards and which ones you draft, and
they do have reroll. There's a way to mitigate.
Yep,
a little bit.
There's a way to mitigate
at the cost of points, which is kind of fun.
Yes.
So it's like I'll lose 3 points to reroll this turn.
Yes.
It's not always 3, but that's just an example. It could be as many as 10.
Right.
If you play the game and look at the board, you'll understand. But
yes,
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you lose points, we'll let you reroll.
Yeah, you can reroll as much as you want, basically.
Down to like
0. Well, negative 10.
Negative 10 points.
Oh,
you
no,
could start
I think
the
you
game
start at positive 10.
That's true. So 0.
So 0. But anyway, if you don't like luck or you're playing with someone that's like not a big fan
Not lucky.
Yeah, not a big fan of dice rolling, this might not bring about such a fun experience unless they have a really lucky night with the rolls.
That's true.
But I don't think I'm usually the one out of the two of us that doesn't appreciate the luck factor. If we had to pick one of us, I would be the one. But this game does not make me hate it because of the dice. I like the dice. I think it's fun, like you said. I don't know if it's like a tactile thing to like roll them. And then the strategy, like you said, of do I suffer the point loss to take a reroll?
Yeah.
I think there's a lot going on. What about you?
Yeah,
Do you
I
think it's
enjoy it because I like dice games. I like this dice game. This one's it's unique. where like you draft your cards, which also get you a certain set of extra dice to roll. So that's neat. One thing I was just thinking of, the worst part about this game is when you roll your dice and then you're stuck with what you have. Like you have no more re-rolls to turn in, or maybe you don't want to take that point hit.
Right.
Because you'll go down by 15 instead of down by 7. And then some of the combinations that you roll, you lose some of your companions.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I wasn't trying to do that, but the dice did it.
Right.
And so this guy, this weird deer octopus thing, is gone.
Yeah. And that's where like the strategy comes in. Like, is it worth it in the long run for me to lose 15 victory points this round, but keep this companion? Or I should say potentially keep it, because you might re-roll the same exact thing, which that's so fun when that happens.
The first couple of games, I was, like we talked about, I was rolling
Oh,
with
yeah.
the combos, and it was great.
Yes.
And then this afternoon we played it, and it wasn't as combo-y. And I don't know if that was just a luck thing. I mean, it's dice. Bleh. So it is always luck. But like, I chose the right cards at the right time, and things were just stacking and stacking and stacking. So
Right.
that is when it's really fun.
Yes.
When you can get that. It's like an engine builder in a weird way, but it's based on dice. When you get that thing rolling and you're like, okay, I'll take 3 points here, 7 points here, 12 points here, plus 21 points.
Yeah.
And then I look over at you and you're like, I'll take 3 points.
And that's all I got.
Yeah.
That's when I was hoping for half of your score. Oh, man. So, yes, final verdict for you is fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I think so, too. And not in a I'm thinking so much, it's a logic puzzle type of fun. It's just,
Throw dice.
yeah.
And
throw
I think
dice,
I think the
have fun.
theme and the look of it helps with that for me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it were something else and everything was cartoony and colorful, and maybe the appeal wouldn't be there, but because this is so unique, it makes it that much more fun.
The art.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. All right. Well, what about having this game in our collection? Do you think it's worth it for us?
Is it worth it? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think for us, any game that we can see the potential of kids playing it someday is worth it.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Because this one it's easy. Like even our son sat down and watched us and rolled a couple of my turns
Yes.
this afternoon.
Yes.
So he's gonna play it eventually. Next time we
Yeah.
play, probably. Like
Yeah.
he knows what's up. So I think any game that does that for us is a win. But the replayability is high.
Yeah.
There's 6 characters that you can
That you
choose,
can start with.
and that determines your starting dice and what colors you roll, which is pretty cool. There's actually 2 sides of the game board that play way differently. I like the new one that we did today. One is
Ships.
One is on the ocean, and the ocean is dark and mysterious.
Yes.
And the other one is a forest, and you try to go light up the forest. I think I like the ships better. It seems more interesting.
Yeah, I think I might slightly like that one better too.
The other one seems way more dependent on what you roll
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
to move. The ships you can get by with a little more luck
Yes.
than the
But you
forest.
don't move as far
No, you don't need to.
or as fast, maybe. Yeah, I think this has a lot of replayability, not just the 2 sides of the board, but there's characters that are going to come out at different times. Obviously, the dice will roll different every single game you play. And I think that I didn't even consider the potential, with kids, but it's something we've asked them to play. We know that they will eventually. We're
Yeah.
going to break them down.
Yeah. I mean, there's always games that we'll buy because we know it's just good for us
Yeah.
or a game group. But like any impulse buy that has the potential of having the kids play is obviously helps that decision.
Yes.
Which this one kind of was in a way.
Yeah, and I think that even though it can play up to 4, it played really well 2-player. And that's usually what's handed to us on just, we do have game nights We do have one game weekend on the schedule, but like normally it's just you and I playing.
Yeah, I can see the drafting becoming much more difficult when we increase the player count.
Sure.
Because we have the most to choose from when you only play 2-player. Like if we play 4-player and you're the last person to go, you're down to 2 options to choose. And you may not want either of them.
Right, but you have to
You have to take one.
Yeah.
And then you're just stuck with it.
That's
and
true.
you hope that it works in your favor, but if you're the last player, odds are it's probably not going to.
Yeah, that's very true.
So looking forward to different experiences at different players counts, which we can probably say with most of the games we play. And that's fine.
Yeah. Well, we have maybe one more thing that came to our mind when we were playing this game, but we're going to talk about it after this short break. All right.
All right, Bob's Burger.
Sorry, that was my Linda. All right. Well, we talked thoroughly about Glow.
Yeah, we hope we explained it well. I hope our opinions help you decide
if it's the right game for you.
If it's the right game for you. If anything, it's definitely worth a try. If you know somebody who has it, like us, you can come over and play it.
Yeah.
But definitely look at it because visually, it's worth once to play it.
It's stunning.
It's pretty cool.
Okay, so we noticed.
Excuse me. Are you tired, my dear?
I must be. Yeah, you guys are not boring to me. I don't know why I'm yawning. Maybe this man in the room is boring to me.
The guy over, Silent Greg.
Oh yeah, Silent Greg. Well, we noticed in this game that something we wanted to talk about with y'all. Can I say y'all?
Sure.
Even though I'm from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
That this game has great iconography. And besides the rule book, there are no words on cards. There's no words on dice. There's no words on the board game. Everything is icons.
Yeah.
To help you. Well, I guess I should say there are names of creatures on the card, but they're nonsense names. It's not like Adam.
No, they have name. Like it's that creature's name.
Yeah.
But they're just so mystical and like fantastical.
Yes.
That I don't know how to say half of them.
Right. So I guess I misspoke when I said there's no words. But it's not like there's no reading necessary to play this game. And I really enjoyed that. I think it does a good job of using the icons not just to teach and help remind people of the different like round sequence or end of game scoring, but also to tell the story.
Yeah, definitely.
That the light and the different icons are coming into the forest.
Yeah, they're elements, right? Like each dice face is like water, it's clouds, it's fire, it's wind, it's stuff like that. And that's what is missing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's funny because this afternoon, again, when we were playing, I was trying to look up the final scoring in the book. Yeah. And you're just like, dork. It's right here on the board. I did not say dork. No, but you just said, oh, hey, it's right here.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. It's all right there.
Yeah. And there's really, I think all the icons like eliminate the need for us to look at the rule book.
Yeah.
I mean, after we learned it, it's really nice because everything is right there. Another game that we were thinking of when we thought of the iconography was Fort. Yeah, Fort. Do you remember Fort?
I'm just confirming. Oh. Fort. One of my low-key favorites that we don't play very much.
We play it.
Very much. We don't play anything very much, but...
Leader games, Fort. They have tons of icons in that
game is all about icons. It's all about combos based on those icons and like icons.
Yes.
And they do a good job describing what they are. The difference between these two games, which I mentioned to you earlier in the day, was Fort has so many of them that they have a huge reference card.
An
for
icon
all of
reference
them.
Card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one is like there's three, other than what's on the dice.
Right.
There's like 3 icons
Right.
that you need to worry about. And they're pretty self-explanatory. A foot,
Yeah.
you can move with a foot.
Right.
It's a footstep. And
Reroll.
there's a dice that looks like it's tumbling.
Yes.
And the only other one that's unique to this game is a firefly bottle.
Yeah.
Like old Zelda games. There's a fairy firefly in a bottle, and you can collect those.
Yeah, and there is like a potion symbol, but we have actually never had to use that in the 5 or so games we've played.
Yeah,
so.
there's 3. Yeah, there's tokens that we have never used because no one picks that monster.
No one drafts it. Well, that's another thing. Like with a 4-player game, you would draft
more often.
Yeah,
That's
well,
true.
you would draft more of the characters. So you would
That's
see
true.
all the abilities.
Because by the end of the game, each player, has a team of 8. Mm-hmm. And so we only see 16 at a time.
Right.
And if we added 2 more, obviously we'd see more. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you might have less than 8 if you've killed a bunch of them. But
True.
yeah, so the icons, do you like games that use iconography? I guess another thing is it makes it kind of kid friendly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because there's not tons of text to read. Not that this is a kid's game. I think that it's supposed to be.
No, it's not. It's not like a kid's
10
game.
plus.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Habba or anything. But kids definitely can play it, and it's easy to learn
Yeah.
because of what we explained earlier.
Yeah.
And icons are great because we've even taught Fort to our kids, and that's a game that I dread teaching to adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's just it's so much.
It's so rich.
Yeah, at first. Yeah.
All the pizza and all the stuff.
All the pizza and all this stuff. Well, we had trouble when we first learned it kind of understanding the following action.
True.
So I think that's what was intimidating me about teaching it to other people.
Yeah, definitely. But the icons, again, just help solidify the rules and make it simple to, when you see a good icon, whether it's on the computer or in a game, and if you're looking at it, you can know exactly what it does, then
Yeah.
it's very well done.
Yes.
I wish I could think of more games that did that.
Parks.
Parks is okay.
There are words on the cards and stuff like that. Like the gear cards I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but that's just, it has to have.
Yeah.
But you know how much it costs because there's 2 suns on it.
Yeah.
And you know how much it costs to travel to the Grand Canyon because it says right there.
Yes.
So, Parks is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tell us what you think about if there's a game that comes to mind with great iconography, or if you have special feelings about icons in games, if you feel like you'd rather have the words.
One that we recently played is that Caper game, Caper Europe.
Yeah.
It has icons that took us a minute
That's true.
to figure out how they comboed and what they did. But if you're looking for another good game with icons, that's 2-player only. It's the same people who did Force. Sorry, Parks.
Yep. And Trails.
It's called Caper Europe. Very fun.
All right. We will come back and we will talk about what is bringing us joy outside of board games. Stay tuned.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. We hope you've just learned so much about Glow, about us,
Have they learned a lot about us?
and about yourselves
Oh, wow.
on this episode of the Married and Bored podcast.
I don't like that voice.
No, it's okay. We're going to wrap up the show, start the process of wrapping up the show like we do every time, and just talk about what brings us joy outside of board games. Because believe it or not, board games are not all we do.
It's up there, but it's not all we do.
So Angela.
You're going to make me go first.
I'll go first. I didn't want to start the conversation and then just steal the thunder.
No, I think you steal thunder.
Okay, so what has been bringing me joy outside of board games is like board game adjacent. I feel like video games.
Oh, okay. You can do video games.
It's a game. I don't play a ton of video games, but I enjoy them when I do. Mm-hmm. Would you agree as being a watcher of me do this?
You don't play tons.
No.
But you like certain ones and you enjoy them when you play them.
Yeah. So like the immersive conversation we had about board games. If a game tells a good story, like I'm all over it.
Yeah.
I love that. So they just did a big update for Cyberpunk 2077. Remember when I played that
Yes.
a year and a half ago when it
Yes.
first came out and then stopped because
Yes.
it didn't work on my PlayStation? Well, now it works. It works great on PS5, which is fun. So I started it over.
Okay.
And then I only played like an hour because our son kept on coming in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he shouldn't watch that game
No,
at all.
probably not.
No.
No, he's 6.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to playing that more. And then Lost Ark is a game that came out. Tons of people are playing it. And it just scratches the Diablo itch. Mm-hmm. It's very different, but it's also very similar. And if you played both, you know what I'm talking about. If Lost Ark, if it's like Diablo meets World of Warcraft. So it's like an MMO. So there's a bunch of other people on there and just having a good time messing around with that, playing a game again. So that's me. Super nerd.
I'm also going to do a game adjacent one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm going to talk about Wordle.
Okay. That's a good one.
So, yeah, we've been really enjoying Wordle as a family. Every day of the weekdays before school.
Yep.
We all sit down and Christian or I will put up screen share our phone to the
AirPlay it to the TV.
to the TV, and we'll all do Wordle. We have never lost.
We got close one time last week. We got really close.
We got close, but we have never lost, and that's been fun. Like the kids like to think of words to start with, and we try to get them to think of words that have maybe a couple vowels in them, or at least no repeating letters.
Yeah, but the first word is about as far as they get. They're most excited to choose first word.
Well, yeah.
And then after that, they're just throwing words out there that shouldn't even.
Well, okay, the 6-year-old, that's probably where his limit is.
No, I understand.
But you know how your brain, even our brains, like they just want to use the letters that are already up there, even if they're wrong. So it's like they just told you there's no R in the word, and then all you can think of are like
rain.
Yeah, are words that have an R in them. So I totally get it. That part is hard for them.
Rain is a good starting word, though. I just thought of it.
Rain,
like a king's reign.
Oh, I was like, that has 4 letters.
No, I was waiting for that response too. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, it's gonna be rain.
Okay, we're starting with rain.
Perfect.
Yeah, so if you haven't played Wordle, I don't know if that's possible that you haven't played.
I think according to Twitter, there's so many people playing Wordle.
Yeah.
Because I see their little boxes.
So jump on, play Wordle, have a good 5 minutes of your day that's nice and fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And I'll just throw out there, we've been watching a TV show called Severance on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, yes.
It's really weird and really intriguing.
Intriguing, yes. Weird, yes. All good.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. It's about work-life balance.
But taken to the extreme.
Taken to the extreme where that people in this world have had a procedure where when you're at home, you can't remember anything about work.
Yes.
And when you're at work, you can't remember anything about home.
Yeah.
So it's not adventures, but it's some guys just figuring out maybe what's going on.
Right.
And how to separate that. We don't even know. We've watched 3 episodes. 3.
3.
I don't even think all of them are out yet. They're coming out weekly, so we're waiting for this weekend to watch it again.
Yes.
Check it out.
That'll be fun to see what happens next.
All right, Ange, where can everyone find us online if they want to reach out to say something?
Okay, well, if you're one of the lucky people that has our home address that sent Christian a game, you can just come knock on our door.
No.
Just kidding.
No.
All right, you can find us on Instagram at Married and Bored. You can email us, hello@marriedandbored.com. We love interacting with you there. We are also on Twitter, Married Bored.
That's right.
Did I get it right this time?
You did.
I didn't even have to ask you. Look at that. And we would love to get our Twitter following beyond... What are we at?
Let's find out. Beyond 30.
30. Yeah. Whoa.
Man, I say it all the time, but board game Twitter is rough to get into.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
It's okay.
We don't really care. We just like being on there, interacting.
Yeah, it's fun. If you want to see how we do at Wordle every other day or so, check out at Married Board.
There you go.
But we're trying to get more content up there.
Yes. But however you contact us, of those three, we love to interact with board gamers in the community. If you have any thoughts or ideas about the show we just talked about, reach out to us. If you have any tips for Gen Con, Christian would love to hear them.
Yeah, Gen Con tips, keep them coming. Mm-hmm. And what game has your favorite icons or graphics, I guess? Not graphic design, but like graphics. Is there a difference? I don't know. You let me know.
I don't know. I'm giving you a quizzical look.
That's why I said that.
All right, guys. It's been so fun chatting. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Married and Bored podcast. And guess what? We have a website where you can listen to podcast episodes and so much more. Find us at marriedandbored.com, or you can email us at hello@marriedandbored.com, or follow us on Instagram at marriedandbored. Music in this episode is by Joseph McDade. See you next time.